Hello everyone, welcome. I am Ashlyn Matthew, news editor with National Herald. Today I have with me Ravinder Singh, the CEO of Khalsa Aid, an organization known to help people in distress around the world. Here recently, they have been vilified and defamed for supporting the farmers camping at both Singhu and Tikri borders. They have also been mocked for helping the farmers with foot massage chairs and geysers to beat the Delhi winter. I will be speaking to him about the vilification campaign, the Kisan Malls that they have set up, the community kitchen, and his view about the farmers' protest. So Mr. Singh, so let's begin with the support that you are providing for the farmers' agitation in Delhi. What all are you doing?
Yeah, thanks for this interview. It began actually about September, early September, when the protest started at a small level in Punjab, and there were a lot of dharnas, protests, where we started providing langar, to set up a community kitchen. So then it built up as the farmers then approached Delhi. Our team set up langar in Singhu border first, and from there we expanded other services like defogging, mosquito repellents, first aid kits, even fire extinguishers for the tractors and the trolleys that were in danger, maybe of catching fire or emergencies, and then eventually a very big marquee which could sleep about 300 to 400 people, give them shelter in the cold. That was quite a very popular piece of, I think, the puzzle, because a lot of the elderly farmers who were attending the protest, they needed somewhere to have shelter during the night. So, and that other organizations started doing the same. So yeah, so I think our support was quite massive. It still is. And then our team, led by Singh and all the amazing volunteers, then moved to Tikri border and set up a similar support for langar, water, first aid, everything that we could provide for the farmers. And I think you talk about the Kisan Mall, the generosity of the people of Delhi, Haryana, Punjab. They're bringing truckloads of aid from the villages, blankets, food, toothpaste, toothbrushes, sanitary items. There was so much stuff. Then Amarpreet Singh spoke to the volunteers and set up like a mall. So the farmers had like a token given to them to prove they were from Punjab, then a token, and they would go to the mall with the token and choose free whatever they need, towels, toothpaste, whatever they need. We've got food, whatever was there, they could come and get it free. So
this
it
is
became part of it.
This is at the Tikri border, or this is at Singhu, or both?
Singhu. So
both.
Singhu. Yeah, so we're trying to do both now, but Singhu started Singhu border. So
Okay.
that was so we're now expanding both services to both borders. And and at one time, even last few days, our team delivered food to, I think, Ghaziabad border, is it?
Yes, the Ghaziabad border, Ghazipur.
And the Rajasthan way of single food drop, but it's very difficult logistically. We already got about 150, 200 volunteers rotating all the time. They're total volunteers who are
so
doing
there are no full-time employees working on this?
There are full-time employees, but they're only very few. They're coordinating. So, but the main crux of the whole seva, everything that's happening, the whole I think sport base is from the volunteers. People like yourselves, professionals, students, business people, they all want to do seva. So they're all there at the border. So yeah, we got a lot of facilities, and so
they are not only people from your community. They are people across walks of life who are volunteering.
There are all sorts of people volunteering. And there are also other organizations. I think there's 40 or 50 organizations from Punjab and around the region, from friends, from our brothers from Haryana, from UP. You got Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, everyone living together, working together, and helping out. This is, when you talk about utopian society, this is it. It's created that. I think one of the journalists, the senior photographer, I can't remember his name, he's well respected in India. He went to see. He said, you got a guy from Haryana having a hookah, pipe, and next to it is sitting a Khalsa doing his prayers, and a Muslim guy serving a jalebi. So it's actually created a world where we all want tolerance, respect for each other and dignity, which
Hmm.
I'm sorry to say at higher levels in the echelons of the Delhi government lacks at times. So this has become a model in a way. There is so much tolerance. I think that probably hurts more people who don't like this sort of thing, is that people are getting along. You know, it's divide and rule sort of thing. Here, there's no
Yes.
divide and rule. And that makes me very happy because this
Okay.
is what we should be.
Okay.
Sarvata Pala means well-being of all.
Okay.
So
And have you called for donations just for the protest, or these are just people who anyways donate? Or have you?
we normally, what we do when there's a big disaster or issues like this, we always appeal for funds. But this time,
Hmm.
we made it clear time and time again on Twitter, on Facebook, that we are not collecting for the farmers. We're not collecting. We said it time and time again because we have enough funding coming in already in India itself from Indians.
Hmm.
We don't need to send any money from abroad because Khalsa Aid India has proven itself to be self-sufficient. People in India from all walks of life are donated, and they're a registered charity. And
Yes.
so there was no need from us. And this is where it really, I think, makes me wonder, because any political Indian party, first thing they do is they go abroad for funding. They go fundraising. They abroad,
Yes.
could be any party. They'll look at the West, the Indians abroad saying fundraise for a particular party. Even if Khalsa Aid or other organizations did send, even if they did send funding for the farmers or aid or whatever, what would that be? I mean, what problem would it be? Because if you look at it, there's a huge problem in India with black money
Yes.
abroad in foreign banks, which your prime minister said he will bring back. So
Yes.
where is that? You know,
That has not come
time
back.
and time again, all governments, not just BJP, Congress, AAP, BJP, they all need to bring that black money back. That's billions. But our
Yes.
hundreds or maybe few £1,000s, if somebody sends from the UK or US or Canada for the well-being of the people, seem to hurt the government, but not the billions in Panama or in Swiss bank accounts. So there's a contradiction there. I think
Yes.
India needs a statesman, not a politician, to sort this mess out.
I completely agree. So now moving on, I would want to know how much does it take on a daily basis to keep the langars running, the Kisan Malls running, in terms of money? Because you have the geysers, which means electricity. So how much does it take on a daily basis at both the
Yeah,
borders first?
it's very minimal because, like I said, the langar, the blankets, the sanitary items, everything, the people are donating. I mean, people of Haryana and Delhi have been absolutely wonderful. Also, people of Punjab are doing it anyway. So they're
Hmm.
bringing in everything. The only thing we've got is Khalsa Aid India has its staff there. And Khalsa Aid India has funding from people within India. So if they need to buy geysers, they can spend a few thousand rupees or a couple of lakh rupees or whatever. But generally, 80 to 90% of the aid you see on these borders, or maybe 80%, let's say, is donated by the public. So number one, it doesn't make sense for us to make an appeal for donations for goods and items that are given free by the public. So we don't want to say like, hey, we're providing langar, give us money, because langar is being donated.
Okay.
You know the pinnies, the little
Yeah.
pinnies from Punjab, they're being donated. Almonds being donated. You name it. We got such a big warehouse, warm clothing. So we're not really spending much money. It's just the
But
staffing.
how much does it take to run, like in terms of money? If I had to put,
I think main items like geysers, for instance, and fire extinguishers could be like about 7 to 8 lakh or whatever rupees. But the payment, the salaries of the staff are covered by Khalsa Aid India branch itself. So
so no,
you could have
so I'm not
have
talking
like 4
about
or 5
those.
paid people. So paid wise,
No.
it depends on us. It depends on us how much we want to do. So if we want to keep the langar going, for instance, right?
Yes.
Want to keep the langar going, almost everything is free. The people are giving us a lot of aid. Almost everything we get. Maybe sometimes you might have to buy some onions or very minimal, maybe a few thousand rupees, but we don't have like a huge amount. If you're saying to me, does it cost like 20 lakh a day, 10 lakh a day? No, it doesn't. If we want to get geysers, it's a choice for us. We choose to get that. So we want to help them. So it might be 5 or 10 lakh or 3, 4 lakh, whatever. If we want to put a tent up the marquee, we pay rent for that, a few thousand rupees a month. But generally, blankets, food, everything item being donated. So if it's extra we want to do, like the geysers you're talking about, or fire extinguishers, it's only
Or
a
the
few
foot
lakhs.
massages for,
Yeah,
or the
foot
foot
massages, again, minimal. There's 25 foot massages,
Yeah, it's
25, maybe about 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10,000 rupees, whatever they are. They're very minimal. They're not,
yes.
they're not expensive as people think. So it makes you wonder why our foot massages are hurting the people more than anything else. It's amazing how
Than
massages
farmers who
become a
are
headache.
staying in the cold
They
and
are cold.
protesting.
Now imagine it's cold in Delhi, it's cold in Punjab, right? Imagine. So you are sitting in your office, you can go outside, come back and warm up. These guys have no come in and out sort of warm up. They're in the cold 24/7. They're
Yes,
elderly. Most of the people from Punjab, if you interview them, I would say about 60, 70% have given their sons to fight in the Indian army or the
yes.
police. So so if massaging their legs is causing an issue, then it makes me wonder what sort of mentality we have. So I wish we could get another 100 leg massages. I think that'll really make people angry in the right places. So
Huh.
yeah, we can't do enough for these guys. They're elderly. As you know, when they left Punjab, what did they face? What did they face in cold winter? Elderly people faced freezing water cannons.
Yes.
They faced tear gas. For what reason? So if we can massage them and give them pizza, I think pizza became an issue as well. Why are we giving
Yes.
pizza? I
Yes,
mean,
but then
for God's sakes, the
an
farmers,
actor.
when
Yeah.
you eat your pizza in your local pizza shop, do you think it grows on trees? No, it grows all
No.
in the farms. So
Yes,
finally,
that's
they
what
can
an
eat
actor
what they
said.
grow.
Yes, an
So
actor. There was a snippet that was going around with an actor saying this. It was apt.
yeah.
It
So
was
that's
on
what I mean.
point.
It's crazy that we divert from the main issue into pizzas and massage machines. I mean, next issue will be why you're giving jalebiyan out there. Because jalebiyan is meant to be a luxury item. Why not? Our langar, the Sikh langar, has never been very tightly controlled. We're very generous. The Punjabis generally, if you got Punjabi, Hindu, Sikh, Muslim, Christian, whoever Punjabis are, other Pakistan side, this side, Punjabis are very generous people. You come to their house, you cannot leave without being forced to eat three
Oh,
course,
that's
four
true.
course meal. So,
Yes.
so what's wrong with our farmers getting that? I mean, any farmer, not just Sikh or Punjabi farmers. You got Rajasthani farmers, Haryana farmers, Haryanvi
Yeah.
farmers, UP
From
farmers.
Madhya
So
Pradesh, UP,
everyone's
yes.
coming. Langar is for all. But you see the
Yes.
legs being massaged of Sikh guys with the tails and beard, and that really upset people. It's amazing.
Yes. You have helped. This is not the first. This you have helped actually during the Kerala flood, the Amarnath Yatra, and I believe during this pandemic also you were providing aid. But at that time, your work and neither your organization was vilified. But now it is being. Why do you think so?
Well,
And does it hurt your work? Does it hurt you guys? Does it hurt the work that you do?
the same news agencies, the right-wing news agencies who are now pointing fingers at Khalsa Aid, were praising Khalsa Aid for Kerala, for Uttarakhand, whatever, for Assam, for all the other operations in India. They were the first one to tweet us, write articles about us saying, well done, Khalsa Aid, doing an amazing job. We have some famous Indian actors join us. As soon as we start helping the farmers, I think we all saw the pictures and the videos and news items when the farmers were marching towards Delhi to protest. They were called Attabadi, Bakbadi, Khalistani, ISI,
Yes.
jihadists. They were named everything. Yet
Yes.
they want, Punjab has always suffered from this. Whenever Punjab has spoken up, we become like Bakbadi, Attabadis, because we always lead on the agitations and justice. So we're used to, in a way, label such names. So, nobody challenged it. The whole of India needed to challenge that rhetoric
Yes.
that these are Hindustani, Indian, Punjabi farmers who are lawfully practicing their right
Yes.
according to the democratic constitution of India to protest in Delhi, like we in the UK. And I'll give you an example, like in Washington, remember twice or three times, we had a 1,000,000-man march. We had a 1,000,000-man march in Washington to protest. And yet these guys who were protesting, I couldn't believe it. I work in Middle East, I work in Iraq, I work where ISIS been. This was like a war zone. The Indian police, the Haryana police, they dug their own roads, they put things in
Yes.
the way, containers,
Yes.
water cannons. What was the farmers doing? They were just peacefully going towards Delhi to protest. So it does makes you wonder, like, what sort of mentality is it that we get these labels? So yeah, we're vilified for speaking up, but that's, again, like I said, it's nothing new for us. For me, I'm used to these personal attacks because it's okay for Ravi Singh, Khalsa Aid, to speak about the human rights of Yazidis or the refugees in Syrian refugees in Lebanon or whatever. But as soon as I talk about human rights within India, it's vilification. And we get called
Is
anti-Hindu, anti-national,
is this the first
terrorist.
time you guys are your organization is facing
No,
this, or earlier also? For
we
which
had it
all? When you
before.
were helping? When
We
you
were
were
helping
helping?
I remember we were helping the Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh 2017. And there was a picture of our young guy who happened to be giving water to a little Rohingya refugee boy. He must be about 12 or 13, the boy.
Yes.
And the guy was drinking water from the bottle our Sevadar was giving the volunteer. And the right-wing Indian press, very famous name, they put a big snake feeding a small snake, Khalistani terrorist feeding a jihadist terrorist. It was ridiculous. How do you pick on a child? What sort of mentality or communities are we building when we pick on little refugee boys and call them terrorists and
When they, yeah, when they're
defame them?
being shunted out of their own homes.
Yeah, I mean, these are kids. If your kids suffer that, you'll be different. So I challenge any fanatic, right wing or otherwise, come to a refugee camp, look at a kid, and tell me that you don't see your own child. So yeah, it's not the first time. I'm always picked on for that sort of stuff, anti-national, all those sort of rubbish, because I talk about human rights. So if I, for instance, talk about the Yazidi community being, a genocidal campaign by ISIS against the Yazidi
I
community, is
yes.
accepted, and I will get retweets, and I will say, well done. If I talk about, say, for instance, extrajudicial killings or fake encounters in Punjab, which everyone admitted to now, I'm a terrorist. If you want to build a community, if you want to build a country, like the young
You need
Indians,
to
like you
acknowledge.
guys are, you need to acknowledge, you need to look how your military, your government, your politicians behave, because it
Yes.
vilifies, not only vilifies, it actually creates this, tarnishes the whole community. Then I get the same thing. What about the Kashmiri Pandits? You don't talk about the Kashmiri Pandits.
Yeah.
My answer is this: it doesn't matter if it's a Kashmiri Pandit or a Hindu guy or Muslim guy, Sikh guy. We will stand with everyone. But during the time when Kashmiri Pandits were being persecuted, we were being shot. We were in shoot to kill policy in emergency states of emergency in Punjab in the late 80s. We couldn't move. Sikhs couldn't breathe. If I was around then, do you think we wouldn't help the Pandits? Guru
Yes.
Tegh Bahadur, your ninth Guru, gave his life.
We-
You know,
Yes.
we stood with the Pandits. Why wouldn't we stand with them now? We will stand with anybody oppressed. It's just pick and choose. When we helped in Uttarakhand in 2013, it was mostly Hindu pilgrims. Nobody said to us, well done.
Yes.
We just got on, we get on with it. Life is too short. But I do honestly think if you want to change, if you want to build a better India, it starts with justice. If there's no social justice, now, for instance, in 1984 Sikh genocide, 1,000 Sikhs were killed. A handful of guys were put on trial. Where are the rest of the thousands killers? They went within the community and they built this community of intolerance. So when you hide killers, it creates a very negative community. So I appeal to you guys. You want to stop the vilification. You want to
You have to.
have the rule of law, democracy. You have to lead the way. You have to change from within. You cannot let some old people divide us all the time. There's too much hatred.
Has it hurt all this vilification? Has it hurt your work during this protest or in India? Has it
Our
hurt it?
work, our support has actually increased because of this lies and propaganda by certain news agencies in India. Our support for Khalsa Aid has increased. We're seeing more support for around the world. You've seen that hashtag I am with Khalsa Aid trending in
Okay.
Canada, America, UK. So some of the supporters have been in touch with us. They said we're
And in
doubling
India? And in
in India
India?
as well. In India as well. People in India, not just Sikhs, the good people who understand what we're doing, they're supporting us even more. It's not just a Sikh thing; it's a humanity thing. If you
Okay.
now, for instance, if we are terrorists, if we are doing something bad, UK has the best intelligence service in the world. Why are we not being arrested? Why is India not putting us on trial? Put us on trial. If you think we're doing something wrong, put us on trial. Don't give this like vilification, pointing fingers, because we know for a fact that we don't do anything wrong. We are reporting to the regulatory body in the UK, in Canada, in America, even in India. And I challenge anything we're doing wrong, put us on trial. We are not doing anything wrong. We just want to build a better world for everyone.
And how long are you likely to be at the protest site? As long as the last farmer leaves? Or
as long as
is
we're
there
needed.
A time frame?
No, as long as we're needed, we'll stay. Again, you know,
So
our
you
work
are
is... Sorry, go on.
So you are coordinating with those running the camps at both Singhu and with the farmers at Singhu and Tikri to figure out how long you will be there, how long they intend to last. Suppose they intend to be there for another 6-7 months, you will also be there.
We're not really talking to anyone to say how long will you be there, because it's a very fluid situation. It changes tomorrow.
Yes.
The government might say, okay, we agree to your demand, everyone goes back. So we are working, you know, we could pack up in a day or two. So we're here to serve anybody's around. We don't work with any politicians or associations. We will, if they ask us for certain assistance, yes, we will give it in case that, you know, they ask us for water at a certain point or food, but we don't go and sit in their meetings saying, how long will you be? What can we do? No, we're there until they're there.
Okay. Anything else you would like to add, or that will be all?
I would like to add a couple of lines.
Yes.
This morcha, this farmers morcha, isn't just a Sikh or Punjabi issue. This affects every small farmer in India.
Yes.
So when we painted all sorts of names or labels against these farmers from Rajasthan, UP, most of the Indian farmers are small landholders. Yes. They are everyday ordinary people working hard to put food on their own tables and your tables. So when you vilify one group of farmers, you're vilifying them all. Do not make it into a sectarian issue, because unfortunately, successive governments will continue to divide us into sectarian lines. This is not a sectarian issue. This is a countrywide issue for every Indian farmer that is struggling in the fields, at the same time raising a family. And now the giant corporations are trying to basically not just destroy the farmer. This is very, very important to understand. Once the big giant corporations destroy a small farming family, gradually they will start destroying the whole communities based on farming. So Indian public and especially youngsters need to understand that this is beyond farming. This is the fabric of Indian culture and community across the country that the giant corporations will change forever unless we make a stand.
Do you still have family in Punjab?
Yes, they also? We got uncles, aunties. You know, they're all worried, but you know,
and they are all farmers. They are all small landholders.
Majority are, yes.
And they are also at the protest site.
Many have gone. Many are taking turns. I don't know anybody in my family who hasn't.
They are taking turns.
They're taking turns from villages. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for speaking to us, Mr. Singh. Thank you.